Hey, folks, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Monday, August 19th, getting a little bit of a late start today, so I apologize, but the Steelers are off today, and it's a little bit of a dreary morning, so I'm just warming up to it here on a sort of drizzly Monday here in Pittsburgh, and that kind of fits the mood from over the weekend, right? Because it was an off season of high hopes and large expectations for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had a long conversation a couple weeks ago between myself and Zachary Smith on Steelers Afternoon Drive about me cautioning people from saying the Steelers were Super Bowl contenders, even if they were able to acquire a player like Brandon Ayuk, and certainly to sort of temper expectations without him. And now I feel like the common perception has swung so far the other way. The sky is falling. They're terrible. They're never going to score. The quarterbacks stink. The offensive line stinks. Nobody likes Arthur Smith. I got people in my comments telling me that they need to fire Omar Khan, which is just almost too absurd to really address. I think there's way too much negativity right now for a lot of reasons. But I do think there is one piece of what I'm seeing on social media that does feel like an area of concern, and that is Steelers right tackle Broderick Jones. He obviously did not play very well in either of the team's two preseason games. Jones has been wearing a brace on his right elbow. He told me a couple weeks ago at the Friday Night Lights practice that it really limits what he's able to do. And that brace is not because he's currently so hurt that he can't play without it, but just as a precaution to keep it from being injured again. He heard it in practice at St. Vincent College a few weeks ago. He's hopeful that he'll be able to have it off by the regular season, but I didn't have a timeline when I talked to him at that point for that. He's obviously struggling with his pass protection, with the brace, and it makes sense. Look, it's a big, bulky thing. It doesn't let you quickly and powerfully extend your arm, and that is something you need to do to be a good pass protector. If you watch the rep against the Bills where Greg Rousseau sets him up with an outside move, comes in and gets his hand inside his hands, the thing about Broderick Jones is his footwork has sort of always been the question mark, and I thought his feet were in the right place. He just got outstronged by Rousseau, and that's not something you expect to see. So I mean, Rousseau's a good player. We'll give him his credit as well. But I think you're going to see Broderick Jones, when he's able to get that brace off, look a heck of a lot better than he does right now. Still is a player that I think we should expect to be a lot better run blocker than pass blocker. And one of the things that I think we're not talking enough about that game against the Buffalo Bills is the Steelers barely ran the ball. They were essentially just doing the thing they're bad at over and over again for practice, which is a great use of the preseason, but not necessarily one that is going to get you good-looking results, and we certainly did not get that. So I think, if the Steelers get back to what we think their run-pass dynamic is going to be, something like 60-40 in favor of the run, I think Broderick Jones will look a lot better if he can get this brace off his elbow and get back to his full range of normal motion with that right arm. I think he'll look a lot better as well. The big thing that seems to have people up in arms is about him playing right tackle. I think this is totally overblown. He doesn't have a natural position, and as much as he has not played any of them enough to be solid anywhere, he only had one season as a college starter. It was at left tackle. He played a whole season before that as a backup right tackle. He spent last season with the Steelers as a right tackle. At this point, he's pretty much played more right tackle than he has left tackle in his life. And he's struggling at right tackle. And when I've seen him play left tackle, he plays left tackle occasionally over scope of practice. It's not like he's some dramatically different or better player on the left side. He seems like he's about the same guy either way. The problem with Broderick Jones is that he needs to play better, not which side he's playing on. He is fine left or right now. I think if we can get rid of this brace and he can do more run blocking than pass blocking. I don't think the side matters. And with Troy Fautanu hurts, there's literally no one else that can play right tackle. I mean, down to Dylan Cook. I guess he could do it, but you're talking about playing your fourth-string offensive tackle or your first-round pick from a year ago. It's a no-brainer. Broderick Jones is the guy to play right tackle until Fautanu's hurt. And if Fautanu's hurt, there's one preseason game left. He played in one. I don't know that he has earned a starting role yet. I think he was looking like he was on track to before the injury, but it is a very different thing to come back from an injury as a rookie. That's not something that every young player is good at, coming right back and stepping into right where they were before. So When Troy Fautanu looks ready to go, I expect that Broderick Jones will move back to the left side, and I expect that he will continue to look exactly the way he's looking on the right side, which is what he's done every time he's flipped sides in my estimation. The problem with Broderick Jones is not the side. He is just as good at right tackle as he is at left tackle. It doesn't make any difference. The problem with Broderick Jones is the pass protection needs work, and to get that work, he needs reps. We saw some of that. I think I'm not sure that these reps with this elbow brace are really doing him a lot of good. I think he needs some full strength reps. Until he goes through it, you're not really going to see progress. This is not a position where you can really train for it. You can't lift weights that are Myles Garrett trying to get away from you. Like, there is no training other than doing for playing offensive line, and he's got to go do it. Young offensive linemen generally are not very good. They need reps and development. We should not expect this offensive line to be good right now or week 1 or week 2. I think they have the pieces for the future, but Broderick Jones is going to struggle as a very young rookie last year who played half a season. He is basically just as raw, if not more raw, than the other two guys. Frazier and Fautanu are going to have big, bad mistakes. They're going to have reps where they look awful. They're going to have non-competitive reps. They're going to get thrown out of the way. That is what happens to rookie offensive linemen. If they're still struggling a year from now, I think we'll say we have a problem. Right now, it is just a normal part of the development of young offensive linemen. I don't think the sky's not falling. They have what I think are the right people in the right places. They just need to grow in development. And, that takes time. And it doesn't matter for Jones which side he's playing on. It's just like it doesn't matter for Spencer Anderson what side he's playing on. I think he's been very good. Some people are saying, oh, Pat Meyer can't coach. I mean, you look at Spencer Anderson, I think he's playing better than any offensive lineman the Steelers have right now. He's a 7th-round pick last year. Dylan Cook was an undrafted free agent cast-off, and I think he's been a really strong player at tackle the last 2 years. Zach Frazier, I think, is coming along very nicely. So, I disagree with that. Just out of hand. They obviously can develop talent. That doesn't mean they're going to develop everyone. They might miss with Broderick Jones. They might screw up Broderick Jones. I don't think it has anything to do with what side he's playing. I don't think it has anything to do with anything other than whether they're able to get him playing at a level that is requisite to be a starting left tackle in the NFL or not. So that's TBD. I expect you're going to get a lot of Broderick Jones on Saturday because, like I said, there's nobody else. So he's going to start at right tackle against the Lions. He's probably going to play a lot. He's got a chance against a pretty good Detroit front to get some good feelings back. And if he doesn't, and it takes until that brace comes off, then there's nothing else the Steelers can do. They're not going to explore any other options at this position. It is what it is. I guess perhaps there's a chance that if Fautanu comes back, it would be Fautanu and more, with Jones waiting until he's able to get that brace off and be healthy before he plays. But right now, they're going with the healthiest two they got. They're both pretty good, and I think they'll be fine long-term. Ease your concerns after a pretty ugly game against the Buffalo Bills. That's all I got for now. I'll be back with another episode of Steelers Afternoon Drive with Zachary Smith later on today. Like I said, no practice for the Steelers today. They'll be back at it on the South Side on Tuesday, and of course, I'll be there. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications for everything from myself and the rest of the team here at Steelers Now on YouTube, and go over to SteelersNow.com to check out all our written work. And I can see you on Instagram, X, or TikTok at @ASaunders_PGA. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.